Have you ever canoed down a babbling brook?
No, but I have cried at a Taco Bell.
Oh, same thing. Listen up, campers.
It's time to buckle up, pitch a tent, and take a hike.
Because Camp Counselors is a variety show.
So prepare for a good old-fashioned kumbaya,
Weird news,
hot gossip,
and scary stories around the campfire.
so spooky.
Is this podcast even about camping?
No, but it is camp. This is Camp Counselors. Hey, happy campers! Welcome back to Camp Shady Birch.
It is week 93 here at camp. It is very humid. I did just put on moisturizer on my neck, and it's just like, it feels almost suffocating. And I have it like on my hands. I got it all over my phone. It's just like using lotion in a humid environment. I don't love it.
This is like a crazy, like, people probably think this is weird. I don't wear moisturizer in the summer at all because the minute I have it on my face and I step outside, like you just said, it feels like I've been sprayed with a hose. And we use, this is not sponsored, Coco Kind, this like celery based.
It's celery seed. What is that, you ask?
Oh my God, it literally smells like you just put your face into an Olive Garden salad.
Oh my God. Or an Amish person's wedding bouquet.
Literally, but it's
Celery.
good. It's really,
It is.
We've been using it for like 2 years and we like always go back to it because it is a great moisturizer, but I won't wear it in the summertime. I won't.
I won't either. The only reason I'm doing it is because I don't know what is going on. My neck is just like, I think maybe because I'm sweating so much, my neck's just like breaking out after I'm shaving because I'm changing my razor thing. That's the same one I've been using for so long, but I'm really just using it on my neck thinking that it'll do something. I don't know.
Well, I think too, if you live in New York City, campers, and if you don't, maybe wherever you are, I feel like it switched from like a nice mild spring to summer, like overnight. It has been so hot and muggy every single day here at camp, but we're going to power through. Right now, I'm not sweating, and I'll take that as a win.
Yeah, I'm sweating a little bit because I just sprinted up the stairs, which I shouldn't have done. Maybe there's something, I think it's the free radicals in the air. Not sure what that is, but it's like the dirty air. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Free radicals, it's a term. I don't know. And I'm misusing it.
Yeah, that sounds like some sort of political resistance from the 60s.
It might as well be.
I want an air purifier, and I'm putting that on record. When I get one, I'll tell you how it is, but I really want one. Anyways, welcome back to the show, campers. Put on your badges and your hats. Get by the lake and start sunning yourself. It's going to be a great episode.
Okay, so before we go any further, I really wanted to talk about this, and we're just going to touch on it, but I was just so excited. I know. Zach was like, okay, we'll touch on it. I'm excited, and I'm so happy for you. But Zach had his first live shows that he did. He did 3, count them 1, 2, 3. How do you feel?
Good. Glad that they're done because it was the most stressful thing I've ever done. Shout out to all of the campers that came out and saw me in New York City. And not just me, you too as well. You guys are so fantastic. A lot of you told me after the shows you guys met up with each other and got to meet like fellow campers in the wild. It's surreal. I've been doing content on the internet for 5 years, and to meet people that have been watching me since I was putting hand sanitizer on my Dunkin' Donut iced coffee cups during COVID, that bought cameos from me in 2021. Like, you guys have changed my life, and I don't want to sound like campy and just like sappy, but it's never lost on either of us how you guys have changed our lives. And doing live comedy has been something I've wanted to do my whole life, and I've always been so scared, but I've done 3 of them now, and I have 2 more in Boston, and wink wink, there'll be more on the way. But it's a whole new chapter for me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Everybody coming out. It's so crazy because it's like, obviously you see the comments and the numbers and everything, but seeing everybody in person in one room that are just there to support you. I was at the end of every show and everybody's clapping. I'm like literally welling up and crying. Eleni's taking a video of me like sobbing. I'm just proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. They're getting better.
You did great. You really did fantastic.
Guys, the first one I did, I don't know if you guys could tell, my leg was just like shaking the entire time. It's an hour on stage, like nonstop, like different characters, different stories, different jokes, but I'm literally just like up there, like trying to keep you guys entertained for an hour, this is so much more low stakes in the sense that I always have you. So the days that I feel like I'm not giving the best I can, you'll always like pick up. But when you're by yourself on stage, it's a little more like, okay.
Yeah, no, I
get camera action.
I'm sure, but you can't tell that you're nervous at all.
Well, thank you. It's going to only get better. It's like a learning curve. Speaking of like live comedy learning curves, you know who's always getting dragged doing comedy?
Dragged in comedy?
Like dragged starting their comedy career.
Who?
Vinny from Jersey Shore.
Oh.
So it's like, this is a little tea. He has been posting like comedy shorts on like reels or whatever of him doing stand up, and he gets a lot of like hate comments. People being like, stick to stripping or stick to Jersey Shore, like this isn't your bit. But I just watched him do crowd work at a show, making jokes about Staten Island where he grew up, and his crowd work was so good and it was so quick. And I'm like, there it is. Like maybe his first couple shows, he came in a little hot and people were like, this isn't for you. But like anything else in this world, campers, if you ever want to put yourself out on the internet or you want to try something new, I think the lesson is like consistency and to keep going, because it can only get better. Unless it's math based for me, then it's never going to be a winning game for me. But no, the shows have been fun. And I thank you, Jonathan, for being my emotional rock.
Oh my God, babe. I will always be there. I'll be at every single show and consistently cheering you on.
Well, thank you. It's going to be a fun summer. I have a couple in Boston. We have a special guest that we're going to film for another guest episode next month that I don't think we should say yet, but I think you guys are going to gag.
For the podcast.
Yeah, for the podcast. And then maybe we'll have my best friend Kira on while we're home for summer.
Oh, troubles a brewing.
We've talked about her like 1,000 times on the show, and I think our stories are so good. So fun stuff for the podcast, and just thank you guys for being here. Thanks for coming out, and I love seeing you guys meet each other too. It's just like,
I know, how cool is that? It's so like mind-boggling.
We've created this incredible universe here.
Yeah.
And we're not done yet. You have your Trout Lake shirt on today.
I do. I have no idea where this is actually from. I got it on Depop. I think it's cute. It is a little suffocating in the neck, which is adding to my current issue.
I see what you're saying, because it is a high neck on the t-shirt.
It is.
But it looks cute.
Thank you. And that's what matters.
Fashion is pain.
Fashion is pain. And this will be on the internet forever, or at least until the motherboard shuts down. I think about that sometimes. I'm like, what happens if the motherboard of the internet shuts down and we wake up one day and like all the YouTube videos are gone and everybody's like, well, we didn't back it up.
Can that happen? Is that all linked to one mother?
No, I don't know.
Mama better not get upset.
She better not, and she better not be listening to this. Last time I talked shit on the Apple iCloud, remember my camera shut off.
Yeah,
that was
weird. I am not a fan of the new iPhone. We've had it we both got new iPhones together like maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and I've never liked this one. If you guys are considering upgrading, don't wait for the next one. This one sucks. And back to fashion is pain. I was just thinking to myself that that's why I'm constantly in like basketball shorts and big t-shirts, because I'm like, I don't want to be in pain.
Yeah.
This shirt is a medium, and I'm like finally graduating back down to medium. I was in my large era for a hot minute, but I've lost 15 pounds.
It has the size sticker on it still.
No, it doesn't.
Well, at least...
Wait,
he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. It says medium.
Oh my God, I'm gagged. Well, the one thing about me, I'm never gonna wash a brand new clothing item. Jonathan will, I won't. That's where we divide the tide. But I will say it's clinging a little bit on my hips, and I'm like, I hate when clothing is tight. So
especially in like the summer heat. Okay, that's enough of us talking about the heat. Because what if people are like, well, it's December 2026, and I'm listening to the backlog.
Nostalgia. What's wrong with nostalgia? You're the king of nostalgia.
I am the king of nostalgia. I really need to just start making new memories.
Well, speaking of nostalgia and current memories, we had a fantastic little getaway for 24 hours in Boston, Massachusetts that I'd love to tell you guys about.
Let's chat about it. I didn't even post anything. I was like, what did I end up posting on my story? I didn't post a single thing. Didn't post. I reposted one story that we'll talk about in a second, but I really didn't post anything. But I also didn't take any great photos.
Yeah. Well, you were unplugged, baby. That's one thing about you. You were in the moment this weekend.
That's true.
So after my third and last New York City live show, we flew to Boston to see Lana Del Rey for a one-night experience in Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox.
And it's actually funny because the episode that came out last week with our special guest, Aaron Guilfoy, the three of us were talking about Fenway, but we were talking about Noah Khan. And we hadn't even really thought about going to see Lana, I don't think, at that time.
No, I had bought tickets that morning.
Either that morning or we didn't talk about Lana on the podcast. So I think it must have been the next day.
Oh, no. I bought them that morning, but that was the catalyst of the conversation.
Oh.
Yeah. I think off camera.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So we went to go see Lana, and we did fly in because it's just too much.
No, that's not true. I will always drive into Boston if I'm going home, because I'm from an hour south of Boston. I need my car to go see my friends and my family, but I had free like miles or whatever on my Delta card. So I was like, let's just trade this in for like a cheap flight to get to Boston, because we flew in at 1:00. Kira and Jay, her husband Jay, and also Kira, it's always going to be Kira O'Brien, okay? Because she gets pissed at me because she's married now and she wants to go by her married name. And I'll never call you that, Kira, because you will always be Kiki Obi to me. Look, the alarms are going by. There's a fire truck going by to enunciate this. Like, is that fresh of me?
I'm gonna be honest.
You think it's fresh?
I think it's fresh.
Why?
Only because she is requesting it, and it's something that clearly, like, to you, I feel like you not calling her by her married last name it really doesn't mean anything to you because it's not like impactful. Like, you're not using it disrespectfully. But if she wants you to call her by her married name and not her maiden voyage, I think you should consider.
I think everyone should protect their birth name. I don't think we need to be trading names like property, okay? I'm a progressive.
I also thought that too, because Erin Guilfoyle was on our podcast, Erin Guilfoyle Petrarca, because she is married.
Yeah.
But people in the comments were like, we love Erin Guilfoyle Petrarca, or like, love EGP. I was like, okay, like that's support. I just,
Yeah, well, she's gonna be pissed at me because now she's gonna be happy that you back me up. Listen, that's what you guys do to you. You guys gang up on me.
No, that's not true, because there was a tale where she turned on me, and I do feel bad about it, and I kind of want to talk about it, but when we get there in the
Save
story.
it for her. Oh, maybe, okay, yeah, and she'll have a lot to say. Anyways, So she and her husband, fine, Kira Tomasia, okay? That's what you got, Kira T. You're happy about it? Whatever. No, they picked us up from the airport and we checked into our hotel, and it was a lovely start of the day.
It was so fun.
It was exciting. Like Boston was 94 degrees. Disgusting. It was so hot there, but
there was a windstorm that was almost like we were back in Mexico with a wet heat this time. There was literally like shit, like shards of glass and like microplastics and like trampolines flying in my eyes via the wind. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, the weather was getting creepy, and that was kind of the issue with this concert, you guys. So when Lana put this on sale, it was like one night only. Like, she's not on tour. She was just like doing a special one-off concert in Boston. So I was like, I have to go to this. And me and Kira have seen Lana twice before. This is our third time seeing her. I'm like huge fan.
And I also just really quickly want to say, for like the non-Lana fans, the Nana Del Reys who like don't really know her that much or her touring situation, this is like, she doesn't really tour much at all. And when she does in the US, it's mostly like a couple shows on the West Coast.
Yeah.
She'll do international shows, but like Boston was just so random.
Yeah. And to me, I was like, I've never seen a show there. And this is my favorite artist of all time, probably. So it's like, I have to see it. And it was a great evening. We went to get Mexican at Lolita, and it was fantastic. And we get to the show. We went to a bar beforehand, and we're walking in, and there was that crazy windstorm. And I would say maybe 30 seconds after we entered Fenway Park, it started to downpour. And we knew there was a chance of rain and lightning for like an hour, but this came fast and furious, downpouring. So what the stadium decided to do is delay the concert and make everybody that was like seated at Fenway Park, which is like an open air park, exit into
the vestibule, basically where all the concession stands are, like kind of under the bleachers, basically inside. I feel like everybody's gonna understand what we're saying. On the outskirts where there's like protection from everything. But Lana went on her Instagram and said that, I guess, with the rules are, for every lightning strike you have to wait 10 minutes, and if there isn't another lightning strike within that 10 minutes, they like,
I thought it was 20 minutes.
I think they wait I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And then she could go on. Basically, we had to wait in between lightning, and then we're waiting in there, and it looks like the rain's clearing up for a second, and then the lightning strikes, and then we got to wait another 20 minutes, and then it was pouring so much that from where we were, you could see outside, like to the other side of the stadium. You couldn't see the seats at one point. It just looked like white TV static. It was just pouring.
Yeah, and there's also like tens of thousands of people all standing side by side, dressed in white gowns and daisies in their hair, full beats, guys. These girls were showing up with full beats in 94-degree humid weather and then being rained on. Everyone was looking pretty ghoulish, okay? Myself included.
One of the worst parts, during the storm,
I don't get this.
They closed the concession stands and alcohol sales.
So they're having everybody wait in these giant crowds, but they won't serve you water or food or, more importantly, alcohol. Like,
right. We did end up finding one space that like I don't know if they were supposed to be open, but they were open because everybody was in there for so long, and it was just so freaking hot.
Yeah, and the time kept going up and up, and it was stressful because there was talks of her canceling. But long story short, she did end up going on very late, around 10:30. We all got to go see her. The show was supposed to be 2 hours. She only did about an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm grateful because it was going to have to be rescheduled and I wasn't going to be able to make the new date, and I probably would have had to sell my tickets, obviously. And like, it is what it is, right? Like, it wasn't her fault. It was the weather's fault. It was completely out of anybody's control.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get mad at her because she didn't do the full show. She went beyond the curfew. She's going to have to pay a huge fine, but she still put on the show that she could do.
Yeah. It was so fun, so good. She opened with, there were like random songs that she was doing that were much older, like from Born to Die, that I was just kind of surprised that she did. Grateful and loving it, but just kind of like, oh, that's so like random that I love it.
It's her biggest hits, though. She really went out and she was like, listen, I'm not going to tease some sort of like B-sides. She went out and put out hit after hit after hit.
She opened with Without You, which I feel like is a B-side.
It's not, though, because it's big on TikTok right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Is it?
That's like a big TikTok song. That's why she did it.
Oh,
because
well,
her
I'm an
audience
idiot.
was okay. I've been listening to Lana since I was in high school, and the people that were there were in high school. She's carried an audience for so long. I was impressed. I was loving it.
I was too.
Yeah. She had a couple crazy guests. Do you guys want to know? She had what? Do you want to say it?
I keep wanting to say Gordon Ramsay.
I have the names.
Yeah, maybe you should say it.
Yeah, she had Mason Ramsey.
Thank you.
Who, if you're unfamiliar with, that was the kid that was that viral Walmart yodeling boy, who is a singer now. He's very talented. I think
he's very talented.
Had a funny kind of start with the internet, and I think people are referring to him more as a meme, but he is an actual really talented singer, and she described him as a voice once in a generation. So if Lana says that about you, the haters don't matter, okay? And they sing a really beautiful duet together.
Do you want to try to yodel?
I can yodel really well.
Yeah.
You go.
Well, I'm warming up with it. I don't know if I can top that.
I want to hear it. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Well, he was good.
Yeah, he was good.
You know who was really good?
Who?
Steven Sanchez.
Yeah, and when she said it, I was like, I know that name.
I didn't know the name.
I knew the name.
Do you want to do a little song that he did that people would recognize from the internet?
Give me the first.
Oh, I used to say I would never fall in love again until I found her. I found you.
Whoa, we're gonna get a copyright strike. Too similar to the original.
Well, he came out and did that, and then she also did an unreleased song with Quavo.
We were all quaking. I said Quavo at the beginning because I was like, she's gonna bring him out. And then she brought out her first guest, and I was like, I don't think we're going to get any other guests. And then she brought out Stevie Sanchi, and I was like, okay, maybe she'll do 3. But now that she's done 2, it feels like she probably won't do 3, especially with how short the show is.
Yeah, but she can't have people fly out to be her guest and to not put them on the stage.
Quavo and her killed it. It was great. My favorite part was when Quavo held the mic out to the audience to sing, and we were all like, babes, song's not out yet. We haven't hit it.
It's an unreleased song. How would we know what to say next?
I think it was just like a natural thing for him to do, you know?
I was a little embarrassed during the concert because I got so excited that the first 2 songs, I was like throat screaming the lyrics. And then I like had to check myself being like, wait, these are the kind of people that get recorded and put on the internet for just not relaxing during a concert. Like, it is not concert etiquette. Like, you can sing, but the levels at which I was singing in the very beginning, looking back on it, like I never cringe at myself ever, because I'm like, what? That's a wasted energy, babe. Move forward. But thinking that, oh no.
And that's interesting because I don't see it that way.
I
also like
do, though, because people pay for a lot of money. You know?
Yeah, but you didn't sing the whole time. Like you were. I'm not saying situationally.
I checked myself because the first songs I was like throat screaming the lyrics
because you were excited, and also a lot of people didn't know the first song. I'm just gonna say that.
I did,
but we were singing that one and maybe like the next few ones, but we weren't screaming the whole time. We turned on our observational eyes, ears, and mouths.
Yeah, I think it's a real lesson in, hey, you can make a mistake, but you can move forward, you know?
Yeah.
So moving forward, the concert was great. We went out afterwards. Obviously, we hit the town. We hit the bars, dancing with a bunch of people we just met. It was a great night. We stayed out until the bars closed in Boston, like 2 a.m.
And this was the point when a bunch of people were coming up to you, and I was just like dancing, doing my thing, and a little birdie whispered in my ear that someone was hitting on you? And I looked and I didn't think that. And then when it happened again, I was like, oh, should I go say something? And I was a little drunk and I did.
Whatever I say in this moment, Jonathan is going to yell at me. He was not hitting on me because he brought you up too. He was a fan. And we're going to leave it at that.
I know. And I feel bad. But I did have
you
someone.
You went up and was like, what's going on here? And I'm like, we're literally talking about you.
No, I introduced myself. I said hi. But then when he came up a second time, Kira did tell me, go get your man. This guy is. But I didn't. No, I literally wasn't even paying attention.
Trust Kira. That's her problem. She gets 3 Michelob Ultras in her and a shot of Jack Fire.
And she's bored.
And she wants to start a fight.
And you know what? The pot was stirring.
She did.
And
he
I
wasn't
jumped
doing
in.
anything. He was like a nice guy who knew our show. And he's probably going to hear this episode and be like, oh, is this about me?
And if you're thinking that, and we did meet, and I shook his hand, and I'm sorry. And
we're going to blame Kira because that's what she does. She's a shit stirrer.
Yes, but I also, I was like, no, I'm gonna go get my man.
Well,
like, what the fuck's up, bitch?
All was well on the dance floor.
But then, you guys, okay, this night it kept going. So then we leave. Did we do anything in between there?
No, we were headed home. We were passing the House of Blues.
We were passing the House of Blues, and it looked like someone had a little bit of blues and dropped their Vaporella and their cellular telephone device. It was an Android. So
uncracked.
Okay, wait, not us giving them their props and talking shit on the iPhone. Like, what's going on today?
Oh, are we switching teams? Absolutely
not. No, we're not. I'm blaming the free radicals. But
what does that mean?
I think it's.
You should stop saying that because that doesn't sound like something that you like.
I'm telling you, it's the like the particles in the air that are getting absorbed into your skin. It's like pollution and shit.
Free radicals?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, all this to say, we found a cellular telephone device and a busted ass vape. We left the vape, but picked up the phone because it was still charged, but it was locked, obviously. And we were like, okay, well, somebody's going to be looking for this. It was a concert. In my head, I was like, there's a girl out there with a flower crown and she just needs her phone back, you know?
Yeah, she's sobbing in the back of an Uber saying, how did I get in this Uber? My phone's on the ground.
Exactly. My God, remember calling cabs? So we get to the hotel and Kira tells the guy at the front desk, like, we found a phone on the ground. He gives us a look that's like, I am not involved. He says nothing but gives the look, and
he's
we're like,
don't put this on my desk right now.
But okay? It really should have been. You know, the least he could do is put it in a drawer and say, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't take it, but he was like, I ain't doing it. Don't touch me.
Yeah, and we didn't budge with it. We were like, oh, okay, we're not arguing this. We're gonna this is our duty. It's our duty now. It's in our hands, quite literally. So we head up to the room and relax for a little bit, have a little drinky poo. Also, at this time, it's like 2:00-ish in the morning. And then I start to think, okay, well, if this person's who had this phone, if they're missing or something, I'm in possession of the cell phone and it doesn't look good, you know? So I start documenting. I'm filming on my phone. I'm like, this is a cell phone we found right outside of the House of Blues. I'm documenting this. We're looking for the person. You know what? I'm just trying. And also with all the talk of me having something to do with Regis Philbin's mysterious death, like I just need to clear.
No one is talking about that.
Well, I know because my team was on it.
Okay.
So I don't need that again.
We always think that we're going to be involved in a criminal case when we never are, because remember after the cruise when you were ziplining with that unattended minor and then we lost her and then I was taking pictures of us in front of the boats with timestamps to be like, if this girl did go missing, like it wasn't our responsibility because we didn't mean to sign off on her. Guys, that's a really layered story. We cannot get into that one again, but if you listen to the original cruise episode, you know about the girl on the zipline that Jonathan had a sign for.
Yeah.
Moving back to Cell Phone Gate 2024.
Yes. Okay. So then I somehow found his name. I think I tapped like emergency contact or about this phone or something.
I don't know how you got there.
Also, then I was like, well, fuck, on my phone, my search history is how to hack an Android. So I'm like, that's going to look bad.
It's giving Karen Reed.
Well, I don't want to be Karen Red to filth. So I'm just trying to be on everybody's good side here, you know?
Yeah, the search history, that is something I've learned, you guys. It doesn't matter if you delete your search history. It doesn't matter if you're in a private browser. That stuff is stored. Mm-hmm. How long does it take for a body to die in the winter?
Why are you Googling it?
I was hacked. It was a mistake. No, girl, you're going to jail. Can't wait.
So I have the person's name and magically he gets a Snapchat. It's a man at this point. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was a girl this whole time. It kind of shifts my perspective, but go off. He gets a Snapchat from someone. And then Kira took down the name and added the guy on Snapchat and
I did
reached
too,
out.
but I hit add and I didn't hit message. So now I'm
Oh.
just friends with them on Snapchat.
That's fun. We just Snapchat him now and be like, listen to this week's episode. Tell your friend to. And the friend who Snapchatted, it could have been literally anybody, but the person who Snapchatted happened to be with that guy who lost his phone and wasn't too far away. So he said he was going to come get it. I was like, that is a good friend. He comes an hour later at 3:07. And I'm like, okay, well, I have to go down with Kira to protect. You know, I have to be protection. This guy rolls up on a bike with a basket. I was like, okay, he's gay. Like, we're fine. And the first thing he says, he's like a little out of it. You know, it's 3 a.m. I don't know what he's doing.
Babe.
He's drunk.
Okay.
He's drunk. He could, I don't know what else, but I'm not going to assume. But I will assume he's gay because of that little fruity basket on his bike. And first thing he says, he's like, do you have the vape? I was like, no, it was like broken in pieces on the ground. And he goes, oh, you guys can just keep the vape. I was like, we literally don't have it. First of all, second off, you're welcome.
Yeah. Also, I'm not taking your fucking red watermelon vape off the ground. I ain't desperate, baby. I got money. Relax.
It was also shattered in pieces. It was like broken, and he wasn't listening.
I'd be like, no, it's okay, guys. I know you have it. You can keep it.
Wait, but
Like, we have a cell phone here for you. What are you talking about? Another $20 vape.
But I did tell him, I was like, you are a good friend for traveling this whole way for your friend. I hope you're not lying. But anyway, gave him the phone. It's returned to the rightful owner. The whole time Zach's taking pictures from the lobby.
I wasn't going outside. I'm not getting in that mess.
You were also not being, you were like hiding between ferns, but you were way taller than the ferns. It was actually kind of funny. But we do have the proof, and it's all in the pudding.
Yeah, it was a great trip. It ended really quickly at the airport the next day. We were supposed to get lunch, but we were so hungover that that's the thing is like when you're hungover and you have plans to go to lunch, just don't, just get the breakfast sandwich and eat it in the hotel room or at your house. You don't have to debrief with a server in a sweaty, confined area, reading a menu that you can't even focus on, okay?
No.
Sometimes plans change.
Sometimes you got to get a 12-inch sub that sucks. That sub sucked.
It did suck. I'm not going to mention the restaurant because that sucks. But we went to the airport and we were 2 hours early. So we went into the Delta Sky Lounge. And the one in the Boston airport is a little foul. The vibes are just rancid in there. And I'll say it. It's just... It's like the lighting is mysteriously dark and bright, and everyone in there was just like spooky.
So weird. Every like time we would move, I think we sat in the quiet room. Is there a quiet car?
We sat in the quiet car by accident, and everyone in there was like, me and him were like breathing heavy and sweating, and they were like, "Will you guys leave?"
Yeah, everybody was just staring, and also, yeah, the color palette that they used in there, I'm like, this place is like, what's going on? Vibes are not good. They're off.
So we sat in the corner and shook and drank our free mimosas, and guess who we saw? Grace O'Malley.
Couldn't believe it.
Of the Plan Brie Uncut podcast, a friend of the pod, a friend of ours, also from Boston. So she came over and we all ate chowder together and commiserated in our fun.
Yeah, we really did. I joked about the chowder. I'm like, ew, chowder sounds so gross on this hot day while I'm hungover. Not all three of us going up twice to get chowder and a refill.
Yeah, we got mimosas and chowder, okay? Like, that's fine.
Hot dairy soup. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
It was really good. I'm thinking about it right now.
Happy to have had a 24-hour little whirlwind trip to Boston and to see Lana with my best friend and with you.
Yeah.
It was just a really fun week, little weekday trip. But we're back in the city and we're back on our bullshit.
This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by Pretty Litter. When my cat Buffy is healthy, she's happy. And that makes me happy. But as much as I would love to pretend I'm a mind reader, I'm not. And I'm not always sure when she's unwell. Helping me keep tabs on my cat's health is just one reason I use Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter's ultra-absorbent crystals trap odor instantly, so no more cat bathroom smell. I do not want to be walking into your cabin and smelling that dirty cow pie your cat just made in the litter box. Pretty Litter's super light crystal base also minimizes mess and dust. Plus, the crystals last up to a month, which means less scooping and fewer trips to the garbage can. And here's the coolest part about Pretty Litter. It changes color to help monitor early signs of potential illness my cat may have, including urinary tract infections and kidney diseases. I'm ultra sensitive when it comes to Buffy's health. I know that with Pretty Litter, I have peace of mind because I can monitor her health every day. And Pretty Litter ships free right to my door in a small, lightweight bag. Pretty Litter helps keep tabs on my cat's health and keeps odors down. You and your cat are going to love Pretty Litter as much as we do. Go to prettylitter.com/camp and use code CAMP to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/camp and use code CAMP to save 20% and get a free cat toy. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details.
Attention campers, please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements.
Welcome back to Morning Announcements, campers. I'm now sweating. This is the part of the show where we share news articles with you that you might have missed that we want you to spread like wildfire. Oof, I enunciated really well on that one.
You did. I'm like really realizing that I'm breathing so heavy into this mic. So
The back of my knees are sweating.
what's going on?
I think our bodies are shutting down.
Wait, my story is going to go so well with our current state. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So this actually didn't really have an article. It came up. I'm actually making this story up. No, it came up on TikTok. This account called Bree in the Forest, at Bree in the Forest.
Oh my
Do you
God.
know her?
No, but we were just talking about Grace from Plan Brie Uncut.
Oh my God.
And this article choice is almost, by not having an article and bringing it to the segment, is giving free radical.
It certainly is giving something. Okay. So Bree, this woman, her name is Bree.
Mhm.
She lives in Texas where there has been an excessive heat warning that's been issued.
Ugh.
I was like, what's the temperature right now? I looked it up this morning at whatever time we were looking it up. It was before noon, right? And they were already like 98 degrees with the big, oh my God, not the band. And it had like the big letters that were like, find shelter. It's really, really hot. Excessive heat warning, I should say. So yeah, it's between like 98 to 101 degrees, super hot. So she had put a rechargeable fan outside to keep mosquitoes away on her back, like her back porch, because she's like, sometimes I want to sit outside on the really like not sweltering days and just, you know, have some time without some fucking mosquitoes attacking me. So she had it outside and she left it on. And she got a motion sensor alert from her Ring doorbell, not sponsored, but it should be. And when she looked, she saw a squirrel that was sprawled out like on the railing of the deck in front of the fan, like really just like busting it open to like cool off every inch. And
Arched.
yeah, it looked like it was kind of dying, but I think it was just overheated.
Oh, poor squirrel.
And she's like, she wasn't exactly a fan of squirrels. Because you know they can be a nuisance, and she was like, I hate to see a creature that's just like overheated, like it's fucking hot out. And then she couldn't help but think about all the other little squirrels and woodland creatures that were probably super hot that didn't have the luxury of having their own little fan in front of them like this guy did. So she started freezing fruit, like little slices of fruit. And she would put like cherries and other little squirrel friendly treats in a giant ice cube to, like, you know, they can cool off, like the little cube. I don't know what else that they would do with it, and eat the frozen berries. So then squirrels started coming to her deck and they were like loving it. She started documenting it last summer, loving helping the squirrels and the woodland creatures, but I don't want them that close to my house. So she has like a big wooded area. So her and her husband put together a fucking summer retreat for these squirrels this summer, and it just opened. Go check it out on Zillow. No, it's not on Zillow, but they put a bunch of little like huts and like a buffet. And she's really smart. She like did her research with the food that they can eat and shit. And like she has corn on the cob covered in peanut butter. I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I'll give it a try at the summer resort. But the squirrels are loving it. They are. She has a bunch of rechargeable fans out there, and not a pool, but like a basin, like a wide bucket thing. And she filled it with water that's that they can cool off in, but they won't drown in. And then she made sure that they can like hop in and out. So just covering all her bases. You know, somebody's going to comment something on her videos. She just opened up this whole little resort thing. And I was like, this is so cute and like thoughtful from a person who didn't really like love squirrels that much. Does
she have a camera or anything?
Yes, she has like her motion sensor camera, and she'll like make little memes with. She posted Nellie's "It's Getting Hot in Here" with the squirrel who's just like cooling off by the fan, like butthole open. I'm like, oh my God.
No, but is there like a camera by like the new resort?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to see it. That's so fun.
I know. I don't know if she live streams it, but I think that would be fun. That's my story. I just thought it was fun. It's cute. Also, again, there wasn't an article, but for details, there is an account called That Good News Girl, and her name is Jen, and I got some of the details from her. So thanks, Jen, and at Bree in the Forest.
Sandwich would love that. What do you think, Sandwich? He's actually now eating. Oh, he's putting peanut butter on his corn.
Oh, and that's going to be the special today.
Oh, okay.
Hot dairy soup and peanut butter on corn on the cob.
Yeah, so come to the Mess Hall, hungry campers. It's going to be a delicious evening.
That sounds foul.
We'll even put out some frozen ice cube cherries for you.
Yeah, if you want the fruit, you got to work for it, babe. Okay, so what have you got for us?
I have the other entree on tonight's menu for my story.
Oh, what's that?
Dogfight.
Uh-oh.
Joey Chestnut gutted to be out of the 4th of July hot dog eating contest over brand dispute. That article is coming from AP News. The author is Cedar. Attanasio. Cedar is his name. So campy.
It is so campy. It's not quite a birch, but it is a cedar.
No, I love that. Okay, so so I have news from there, and then also from an ESPN article as well.
Oh my God, and Joey Chestnut, chestnut tree.
Oh my God, we're so nutty.
We're so nutty.
So Joey Jaws Chestnut, the reigning champion of the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest, will not participate in this year's event after signing a deal with a rival brand, organizers said Tuesday.
Oh.
So Chestnut, 40 years old, has long been the face, not to mention the mouth, of the competition.
Did you write that part?
No, they did.
Oh, Cedar. That's so Cedarism.
That's so classic Cedar behavior. He has vied for the dog downing contest, coveted mustard belt since 2005, and has won it almost every year since 2007.
Right. Did we talk about him on the podcast before? Because I know too much about him, and I think it's because we must have talked about him, or maybe you just told me. I don't know.
I didn't know a lot about him, so maybe you knew a lot about him. Joey Chestnut is like the face of the hot dog eating world. This is his thing. He's been out here pumping out them dogs. So he's won every year since 2007, with the exception of a rare loss in 2015. In 2021, the Westfield, Indiana resident ingested 76 franks and buns in 10 minutes. A record that still stands. So it's funny, the guy who's done it the best only did it one time. He came in really quickly in 2021, I'm going to take the record and never come again.
That is crazy. I'm thinking about how many hot dogs that is, because they got to eat the buns too, right?
Yeah, so the guy, so not Joey Chestnut, but the guy that did win that one random one-off in 2021, 76 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes.
That's foul. I'm thinking about that in a shopping cart.
I'm not even disgusted by it because I'm so amazed by. Have you ever seen them do it?
Yes, they're usually soaking.
They're
the bread.
dunking them in water, and I feel like that's a choking hazard. But maybe it's so dry.
Yeah, I feel like it might be more of a choking hazard if it's dry.
I'm a huge fan of a hot dog, a glizzy. I like to call them gaggers specifically. I think they're great. And if you've ever been to Coney Island, which is where they do this big Nathan's hot dog thing, it really is Nathan the Boots down there. He is the hot dog man.
It is.
So moving forward, Major League Eating is the parent company of the hot dog contest.
Come on, MLE.
Event organizer George Shea, the villain here, says Chestnut is moving away from the contest due to a contract dispute. We love him. The fans love him, Shea said, adding, he made the choice. Chestnut disputed who made the choice, saying on the social platform Twitter, I do not have a contract with MLE or Nathan's, and they are looking to change the rules from past years as it relates to other partners I can work with. In a thread posted Tuesday night after the news broke, Chestnut said he had been training to defend his title at this year's Independence Day event and only learned through media reports that he would not be allowed to compete.
Nathan, I don't eat meat, but if I did, I would not touch your wiener. I'm sorry.
It's really not Nathan, though. It's really coming down to Major League Eating. I know. So he said, I was gutted to learn from the media that after 19 years, I'm banned. To my fans, I love you and appreciate you. Rest assured that you'll see me eat again soon. Stay hungry.
It's got to have something to do with Nathan's, though. Because and I don't know, so don't sue me, Nathan.
You could be right. So Shea says Chestnut struck a deal with the competitive brand, a red line from Nathan's sponsored event. He wouldn't say which brand, but told the New York Times that Chestnut would be repping Impossible Foods.
Oh, so a meatless competitor?
which is a vegan sausage specifically we're talking about here. The company declined to comment on the deal. So did Chestnut. Shea said the dispute comes down to exclusivity, not money. It would be like Michael Jackson saying to Nike, I'm going to rep Adidas too, Shea said. In a response, Impossible Foods released a statement that didn't address a deal with Chestnut, but said that the company supports him in any contest he chooses, adding meat eaters shouldn't have to be exclusive to just one wiener.
Yeah, like I said, I don't eat meat and I wouldn't eat. I feel like it's a Nathan issue. It's got to be because. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
In May, the company announced an ad campaign aimed at engaging meat eaters who want to supplement their diet with more plant-based proteins, even if they don't want to give up meat entirely. So this year's bun fight, which dates back to 1972, sees large crowds of fans in foam hot dog hats gathered in front of the original Nathan's famous restaurant in Coney Island, Brooklyn, to cheer on the competitors as they chow down. The contestants are allowed to dunk the dogs in cups of water to soften them up, creating a stomach-churning spectacle. This isn't the first time the contest has parted ways with one of its biggest stars. So in 2010, Japanese eating champion Takuro Kobayashi, Chestnut's then rival, also stopped competing in the annual bun fight due to a contract dispute with Major League Eating. Kobayashi crashed the contest in a t-shirt reading "Free Kobe" and was arrested because he came to watch. And they were like, get out of here.
He was arrested?
And he was sentenced to 6 months probation. Kobayashi announced his retirement from the sport last month. So he's done now doing
I'm sorry, I don't like that guy. What's his name? I want to say his name.
George. Takuro Kobayashi.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Shea.
Yeah. There's some weird business with him. For him, I'm sorry. And if it's not a Nathan thing and it's really just that guy.
I don't know how much we're being told about the contracts because it does. Joey Chestnut is saying there is no contract, but as two people who do work with brands and non-competes, like I cannot mention certain people. Like for the first time in my life ever, I can say after 4 years, Starbucks out loud because I couldn't because of Dunkin'. You know what I mean? But I'm not in a current contract with Dunkin'. But like it comes down to the point where you work with when you're the face of hot dogs. I don't know if it was smart of him to partner with Impossible Foods. But if Nathan's wasn't paying him, then yeah, let this guy get his coin.
But like, they also but also they having it be a non-meat based product, maybe they see it as a direct competitor, but the market, I'm not in the market for hot dogs. I'm in the market for a vegetarian or a vegan hot dog. Like that doesn't make sense. And also, even if it is like an ironclad contract, the guy, Shea, could have some wiggle room or allow it for a vegan situation. He has the power to enforce it or not.
But you're not. The campaign is aimed at meat eaters cutting down their meat consumption. So as a hot dog supporter, this is a direct competitor. It's not about the product. It's about the ad campaign behind it. It's like, hey, don't eat meat so much. Eat this instead, which is taking away from sales in hot dogs. But I don't know how the contract was, okay? But I do see like that is bad. But from a PR standpoint, look what we're talking about right now. You've lost your biggest star due to you being petty. It was the wrong call.
And we're talking about it in a negative light. So
you know what I mean?
Reflect.
But there's something crazy happening.
Oh my God, what's going on?
The plot thickens. This happened a week ago.
Okay.
A couple days ago.
Oh God.
This happens. In an official press release, Netflix announced the following. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. And on September 2nd, it will be man-eat hot dog world too. Stream live on Netflix. 16 hot dog eating champion Joey Chestnut will face off against his rival and 6-time hot dog eating champion Takuro Kobayashi in Chestnut versus Kobayashi. Unfinished beef with all beef hot dogs. The showdown will settle a 15-year rivalry between the two competitive eaters. Will Chestnut maintain his title as the world's greatest, or will Kobayashi come in with a vengeance and reign for his throne? I know, like how fierce.
And it's going to be sponsored by Oscar Mayer.
Netflix was like, we don't give a fuck. We're cashing in on this immediately. So Netflix is kind of entering a new arena with like live sport, like sport stuff. They're doing the Mike Tyson Logan Paul fight this year.
Wow.
They're doing some WWE, and for the next 3 years, they have a contract to do the Christmas Day, football. What's that called? NFL.
Oh.
They got. Well, you're on the wrong podcast if you think we knew that.
You know, it's so random. I have been followed by many women from WWE.
Oh, me too.
Out of like nowhere. They seem to really enjoy the real estate content I put out. I'm like, okay, go off.
I also am followed by a lot of WWE like women, and I'm not hip on the current wrestlers, but as you guys know from the show, if you put in front of me like a who's who of the early 2000s wrestlers,
yeah, you know,
I would get them all. I literally, my best friend growing up, Dylan, was obsessed, and I'd have to watch every single Monday Night Raw with him. But no, I'm excited about this. I think it's fun marketing. At the end of the day, if you've never seen competitive hot dog eating, it is 10 minutes of nausea. It's foul. It's so foul, but I love this turn of events because I think Nathan's Hot Dogs, they made a really bad call. And I think Netflix, being the marketing geniuses they are, swept in and was like, we got you guys.
I'm curious to know what company they're going to use in the Netflix documentary.
I think there's plenty of time for like a bidding war, and that's probably why they didn't release it. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I think you're right. Oscar Mayer is the top dog. I feel like Nathan's hot dog eating contest was like their biggest kind of PR thing.
And this is really bad PR for you.
It is. Because like
no matter whose fault it is, like really think about what you're doing here.
Also, Joey Chestnut, is there a better name in media right now? That's
No
the
way.
funniest. Joey the Jaws Chestnut. So campers, on September 2nd, we will be putting up the big white sheet on the back of our cabin, and we'll bring out the rolling projector, and we're all going to sit down and stream that together. I am Team Chestnut, but I also have major love for Mr. Kobayashi.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
Welcome back to Take a Hike. This one's for you, Shay. Sorry. Okay, this is the part of the show where we bitch a little. We tell something to take a hike.
It's so free radical.
So what I'm going to tell to take a hike is getting your oil changed in your car.
Oh, do tell, Trout Lake.
So I did sell my car. So you guys already know that I am out of commish and emissions and my carbon footprint. Not me lowering my carbon footprint.
My car is your car.
I know. Well, that too. That's what I was going to say. So I recently went to the mountains. We'll talk about that later. But I was driving from New York to the Poconos, back down like 2 hours away to somewhere else in Philly, and then another 2 hours to New York. And I had to get the oil changed in the car because I don't know what happens if you don't. But it's kind of overdue. And last time you went to change the oil in the great city of New York, it was not the best experience when it comes to customer service.
No, when I went, they were this like, I think I talked about that in another episode, but they were just so mean to people. We don't have to get our oil changed too much because we don't drive a lot because we live here. But like when we're doing long trips, that's when it's time. So
I had an appointment at a certain company, and I get there and they're like, we only have 2 guys on today. You're going to have to leave your car and we'll get to it tomorrow. I was like, then online right now, it says that you have openings like every hour. I have an appointment. Like, what are you talking about? I was pissed. So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out in the next 4 hours on Father's Day while I'm in town to get this done. So I do find a place, and thankfully it ended up being okay. It's one of those places where you drive in and you stay in the car when they're working on it. Have you been to one of those before?
yeah, I don't mind it.
I was so nervous. I didn't know what to do. So I pull in. I'm like, how high up are you gonna hoist me, Captain? And he's like, it literally doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
So-
they're underneath.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that. In my head, I was like, it's gonna be like grease lightning. I'm gonna be up there spinning around.
Can you imagine the liability of having a customer in a car suspended like 12 feet in the air? They would never do
Oh my
that.
God, imagine if I gas it and I just fall off. I really didn't think about that. Do they not do that at all? Like they don't lift anybody in the car?
No, they not with people in the car. No, they would never do that because if people like you, they're like,
I know. Oh my God, wait. I really was actually scared. I pulled in and I was like, how long am I going to be up there? What if I got to go to the bathroom? And
you're
he's
like, guys, it's my first time. Be gentle. They're like, put it in park. We're below you.
and I will say that it was at, not Vyvanse. That's my medication. What was it? I wrote it down, guys. The Valvoline on Ridge Pike in Trooper, Pennsylvania. That's where I was getting my oil changed. You stay in the car. The guy was so nice. I told him the situation. I was like, it's my boyfriend's car. I'm from New York. what's going on? And he was like, oh, okay, so we've got a gay boy on our hands, and he handled it with care. He did say, I'll check your air vent. You know where that's located?
In my glove compartment?
In your glove compartment. So he's like, is it okay if I look at it? And I'm like, okay.
No,
So
it's private. Don't look there.
he comes around the car. I unlock the door. He opens the glove box. Guess what falls out?
What? What? Oh, what was in there?
That picture of me where it's literally like my face, like, and Gab's in the background, and it's just my horrifying face in front of it. And I don't know where the picture came from. Your niece had it for some reason, gave it to me. So I stuck it in the glove box, and it fell on the floor. And he looks at it, and then he looks at me, and I look at it, and then I look at him, and he's like, so you should change this air vent, but since it's your boyfriend's car, we don't have to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, do you think he saw it? He absolutely saw it. It was so embarrassing. Then I felt like I was doing my driver's test. He's like, flash your beams. I was like, fuck. Like, you know, I do it naturally. Like, I know where everything is. And then he's like, wipers. And I'm like, oh my God, where are my wipers? Like, where
I know
are
that
they?
is weird because it's pressure. You're feeling pressure.
But he did not put, I will say, he did not put pressure on me to buy anything, which I really appreciated.
Thank God.
I filled out their survey today because he actually did good. And then I gave them a Google review. I was like, sometimes you know me.
Can I ask questions? What is the take a hike?
Oh, the take a hike is just the... It's for Shay. For Nathan's hot dog.
You just really wanted to just give Valvoline a little plug here?
I did. No, it was...
Can you say the name of the company that was bad? I don't know why you're protecting them.
Pep Boys.
Yeah, you're like...
And you know what?
Company that won't be named. Yeah.
I have had so many issues with them before. Like,
Pep Boys sucks.
It's just... I always have issues when I go there. And yeah, you're right. They do. But Vyvanse has my back 24/7.
Valvoline.
Whatever. And yeah, no, I enjoyed my time, but I hate having to do it. It was so stressful because I was like, it was Father's Day. I went to 2 different places.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take. I can't park my car.
Well, thank you for doing it.
You're very welcome. But it was stressful. And I wasn't going to stress you out because you were going to the Tonys at the same time. You're walking into the Tonys and I'm like in the garage with these guys like, help me.
He's like, put your windshield wipers on. You're like, I don't know where the button is.
If that was a movie, they would literally do like a cutaway scene to me like flashing my high beams when I'm testing them to the flash bulbs of you at the red carpet on the Tonys.
Oh my God, you're so creative, babe.
I can't help it. It's just in me.
So like gay people are stressed out in a mechanic studio.
Mm-hmm.
Where would a straight person be stressed out in a gay environment?
The Tonys.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
God. Yeah, the Tonys is full of F slurs.
So, what are you telling to take a hike?
It's very specific. It's the takeout containers that have the foil base and the plastic top that you then have to fold over by hand to every single circle or
every
shape of it.
inch by inch.
It is so outdated, prehistoric bullshit. And for the most part, I feel like as a society, we have moved away from that. But every once in a while, I do get a container like that. It just happened with Thai food the other week for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get it. I think it's cutting corners from the actual restaurant themselves.
And it's nearly cutting your finger when you have to inch across it.
It is.
It's never fully secure on there. It's wibbling and wobbling. Now, how do you feel about if it's the circular ones?
That's even worse.
With the paper on the top and then it's like leaking through the piece of cardboard.
It even leaks through the plastic part of it. And it's always some sort of red sauce of some sort. And then it can leak right through it. I feel like we've moved past this. And I don't know why we're going back to it for certain places.
Now imagine this.
Imagining.
You have that annoying ass takeout container. You leave it at the restaurant and you're gone. You realize once you've gotten home, you've left your takeout remains.
Mm-hmm.
What leftovers?
The remains. I prefer remains.
You've left your remains at the restaurant and you were so excited to have it as your lunch the next day. How annoying is that?
I never leave my takeout food.
I've done it multiple times.
A true glutton like myself could never make that mistake. I could go 3 weeks extra without doing my oil change. Of course I can. To leave my food at a restaurant that I paid for, that I'm looking forward to. That's the thing is, I'm not thinking about what I'm eating tonight, you guys. I'm thinking about what I'm eating 3 days from now. I already have the next meals planned.
Bing, bing, bing.
I'm constantly thinking about food. And that's why stuff like this really stings for me. Like a takeout container like this. I hate when you get so lazy with them that you only open half of it. And then when you go to put the lid back on a specific circle one, you try to slide it in the previous fold. And then, or you're folding over one corner and the other corner pops up.
So annoying.
I don't have time, baby. I'm trying to think about my next food 4 days from now, okay? Now you're cutting into that time.
Okay, and it's so loud, and you really got to open every single inch of it for it to. That's dangerous for the consumer.
There is a lack of innovation, like we've said before, in the glue stick realm, and there's a lack of innovation in this specific.
Hot glue gun.
Yeah, that's what I meant, hot glue gun. Yeah, it's a take a hike for me.
Completely agree.
Well, thinking back what you just said about like takeout containers too at the restaurants, it's funny because when you're a server in a restaurant and people leave the takeout container, you will hold it for a couple minutes if you're polite. If not, people usually just toss it because 9 out of 10 times when it's left, they're not coming back for it. But I did have a guy that came back at Olive Garden. He like left his like whatever, his pasta, and I threw it out, and he came back like a long time later, like past 20 minutes, and was like, "Oh my God, I left my food here. I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Oh, we threw it out. I'm sorry." And he was like, instantly switched on me like an asshole and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You just threw out my food that I paid for?" And I was like, "Yeah, you left it." And I was like, I got a manager right away. I was like, you already tipped me, and I'm not being paid for this interaction at this point. I'm over you. Like, you're not going to raise your voice to me at a fucking Olive Garden, okay?
Yeah, what are you expecting us to like make room in the fridge in the back for your food and hope that you come through
People
and get it?
never come back. They let it go, okay? That's the whole thing.
How are you gonna be pissed about that?
So that's how specifically corporate restaurants, because they know that as soon as they raise their voice, they're going to get what they want, and they made them an entire entree free to go home.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. You got a whole new free entree, bitch.
Yeah.
Enjoy with your bad attitude.
And your big back, clearly. So moving forward, take a hike.
Wait, before we go on, which is worse?
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to say, I don't know. Is it going to be getting your oil changed, or is it going to be...
Bad Boys?
No, I'm not doing that because I'm not getting them reaching out being like, let us make it right to you. I just unsubscribed to the emails because they see
don't make it right. Leave me out of it.
I don't want anything to do with those bros.
You know what? Sometimes I don't want to make it right.
Sometimes it's fine to leave it wrong and just go find a different customer. Like, seriously.
Exactly. So in this case, I don't want to make either of these right.
Yeah.
Let's keep them both wrong.
Yeah.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over.
Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over.
Welcome back to Crush of the Week. Yeah, we're just talking about love. We're talking about light. We're talking about kissing and snogging.
Yeah.
We're talking about who deserves a little celebration, a little clap. I like the new drag clap I'm seeing a lot, the queer clap.
What's that?
It's like kind of like the middle finger thumb, and they go like this with their nails. Kind of hard if you're audio only. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's the clap I'm giving to my crush of the week. But I want to hear from you.
I'm not giving the clap to any crush because I'm good.
Okay, good. He's clean, he's tested, and he's under control. I like that about you.
What? Oh, the mountains. Recently, I went to Lake Wallenpaupack, so I think I'm just gonna crush on Lake Wallenpaupack.
Get into it.
So I went while you wait, what were you? Oh, you had the same week you were at the Tonys. I was at the mountains. I was unplugged. I didn't have a choice. But it was so much fun. My friend Sam, her family has a house in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and was nice enough to do a little getaway for everybody. And I hadn't seen anybody since really Christmas. So it was good to go and catch up with them. And you and I have been to the Friendsgiving that we've been doing for years at the same house, but I've never been there during the summer. I'm like, this is so crazy to not be freezing cold and like have the fireplace on. It's like hot. We're living our best life. We're going out kayaking. I made a cameo on a kayak. I committed to the bet.
A cameo on the lake. That is so camp counselor influencer of you.
It really is. I'm committing to the bit.
You are.
I've really only made like 3 cameos because I haven't made it public that I'm doing them.
What do you did now?
Hi, I'm on Cameo now. But yeah, this woman, her birthday was Katie. Happy birthday, Katie. Her husband got her a cameo, and I was, oh shit, I hope she got it by now because it's not her birthday. Her birthday's still not for a week.
Well, I think she'd be happy to like have a little.
Oh, and it could be any
teaser.
old. It could be any old Katie, right? Okay. Anyway,
Any old Katie.
any old Katie. Well, it's not like her name's like.
Oh, you didn't hear her last name or something?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. I was doing it while kayaking and I was trying to like sing happy birthday, but I was literally almost tipping over. I don't know. It was fun. Really committing to the bit there. Oh, we drove around on golf carts at a reasonable speed. There are speed bumps. And then, obviously I have to have my photo shoot with the BB gun, which I made Fallon empty the chamber of secrets. I made him empty all the BBs out. I made him shoot it at a can because I'm terrified. And then
That's smart of you though. Like you're like, let me like double check and even do a little test run.
Because I told you about my ex's father who had me shoot at a lamp and then he screamed at me and said, always check the chamber. And I can't even check it myself. I have to have a friend do it.
Yeah, well, we're not really holding stuff like that often.
No, but I needed the picture, obviously.
Check out these guns.
Hell yeah. What else did I write down for this? It really is. Obviously s'mores. I bought a cast iron skillet, like panini press thing. I don't even know how I would explain it.
That's kind of like it, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a panini press. It's cast iron, and you put like a sandwich in it. You can put what else could you put in it? You could put like little s'mores in it, I guess.
What kind of sandwiches did you make?
I made peanut butter and jelly. I burnt the absolute fuck out of it. And then I also made something cheesy, I think.
Bologna and cheese.
Yeah, is that what it was? I don't know. I made a couple different sandwiches for the crew, and you just put it in there and stick it in the fire. I don't know. I feel like that is so of the element and mountains to cook fireside. They were like, oh, we can do this on the stove. And I'm like, well, the fire's still going. So like, I really wish we could. It was a lot of me being like, I didn't eat the sausage, but I was like, we could do the sausage on the fire, give it all that earthy wilderness flavor. I was just loving the mountains, getting away for a second and just existing.
That's amazing. I'm glad you got to spend some time with your friends.
Me too.
I wish I was there. I'm sad I missed out.
I know you were very missed, but we'll make some other time to go.
Yeah, plenty of time for new memories.
Yeah. So what about you? What are you crushing on?
I have a new food hyperfixation of the moment.
There's a lot of food talk here.
Yeah, this is who I am.
I love it.
It's the culture of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna eat. What's on the mess hall menu? I've already forgot.
Hot dairy soup, clam chowder.
Yep, frozen cherries
and the
hot dogs,
corn and peanut butter.
Yeah. Also for dessert, we're gonna have my hyperfixation of the week. Eggo waffles.
Oh, a dessert Eggo.
Yeah, growing up, my mom used to always buy Eggo waffles, and I used to always eat them. It was like a staple in my house. And I have kind of forgot about them. When you eat something too much and you're over it, It's been like that for me for like probably 15 years with Eggo waffles. And something just switched in me when we were at the store last week, and I got them, and I have been loving them for dessert. Is that weird?
I don't think that's weird. I had honestly forgot about them too. One of my favorite things you do is you cut them up into little bits and bites before you do it. But you have a science to it, and I think it's worth sharing.
Yeah. So I have 2 Eggo waffles for dessert most nights of the week now. They're 180 calories. I need melted butter with it. Not fully melted, but you have to put, like, it has to be softened butter. And I butter them both. And then I cut them in a very specific grid shape so that each waffle has 6 middle pieces, a total of 12. So they're really tiny, like squares. And then I drizzle my maple syrup over all of them so they all get a good coating of maple syrup. But I always eat them, and then I eat them in a circle, and I wind my way to the middle like a cinnamon roll so that my final bites are all the most buttery and softest bits. All of the middle bites. I literally, like a child, cut every single piece, and then I sit down so I don't have to do any work.
You got it down to a science.
I've been doing this since I was like 8 years old. I still am eating Eggo waffles the exact same way. They're so good. I forgot, and I only like the home style ones. You would think that I would like the buttermilk one if you look at me, because like my body type is just giving buttermilk basin. Like it is. Like if you look at me, like especially shirtless, you're like, oh, that's a buttermilk body. Like,
oh my God.
No, but you agree.
I agree. I don't know. I think I've had the buttermilk ones like one time.
Because you don't eat it again.
No, I don't eat it again. It's a little too soft. It's a little too like whatever. I need a little bit of crunch, because also I don't like anything toasted too much at all, unless it's a burnt ass marshmallow over fire.
Yeah, it's so
which
true.
I did enjoy this weekend. On a real stick. Imagine making s'mores with like a real stick you found in the actual wilderness. really taking it back.
I think a lot of us have done that.
No, yeah, it's just when you pull it off and it's like, oh, is that a termite? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's why I do prefer.
Yeah, it was also the sticks we found on the ground, and we do pee outside a lot. Now that I'm thinking about it, not sure where we got all the sticks from. But anyway, we're not talking about me. We're talking about your egos. Yeah, no, I love them. I think they're quite the delight. One time when I was younger, my dad we were on a short vacation with Mark and his family. I was in second grade, and he bought like an 86 pack of Eggo waffles because they were on sale.
Why?
And made us eat them. And by made us, he really didn't. He was just like, eat up, boys. But me and Mark took it as like a mission that like, oh, well, we have to eat them with everything. We had like ice cream sandwiches with them on the outside.
That's fun.
Yeah, we were making like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with them. That's actually pretty good. It is. And eating them constantly at every meal. So I was really eggoed out when you said that. That's what I thought of.
It's happened to the best of us campers. At some point in your life, you have to think back and say, when was I eggoed out? And you've been there, but I'm letting you know now, right now, like it's time to revisit because such a simple pantry staple, you know? One thing that's different about me and Jonathan, if we haven't told you yet before, I think we might have, we do differ when it comes to maple syrup. I am a traditional through and through. I want a Vermont glass bottle. I need it to be right from the tree. And you like it plastic.
Well, I can't have it. It's not a choice. Like I have had maple syrup before and I feel like I like it, but it makes me, I really do think I have an allergy because it makes me viscerally sick, like vomit.
What happens?
My mouth starts to salivate. My tongue starts to swell. My throat slowly closes up. And then it's not even that I feel like I'm going to shit myself. It comes up.
What would you be allergic to? Maple tree?
Maybe the type of tree. I don't know. Tannins, free radicals. I'm not sure.
Oh my God. Did your mom give you that when you were growing up, or was she like a Mrs. Butterworth mom?
No, we had a lot of the whatever came, like the log cabin, Mrs. Buttersworth, anything that came in like a plastic bottle.
I truly believe that, okay, allergy aside here, I think whatever kind of syrup you grew up with is the kind of syrup as an adult that you like. Very rarely have I ever met someone that prefers real maple syrup that grew up with the fake. And vice versa. I think it's kind of like a thing that you grew up with. And maybe that's why you have an allergy, because you weren't introduced to
it as a young little girl.
I hear all the time from new parents, okay, we're looking for our first-time mothers here in the audience.
Oh, FTM. First-time mother.
First-time mother. What are you guys giving your babies peanut butter from a young age? Because I hear people are doing that because if you don't introduce nuts early in a child's life, they could develop an allergy. And I don't know, because I'm not a free radical here. And I'm not sure if that's correct, but
yeah, do not give your baby peanut butter just because we said so. We're full of misinformation.
Well, a lot of people give their child peanut butter for the first time in the hospital parking lot.
That's smart.
It's actually kind of smart.
I would literally stand at like the front desk and be like, "Hey," they're like, "What's your problem?" I'm like, "Nothing yet. Just gonna eat my sandwich and I'm gonna hang out for a minute." And then I leave.
Yeah. So I'd let you know in the comments below. Are you pro maple syrup or pro Ms. Body Yaddy Yaddy Buttersworth? I'm just really curious.
I love that bottle looks like
it's so fun.
And it looks like an award. Literally, I would hold it and be like, "Thank you so much for this nomination."
Literally the Oscars of the baking aisle.
Yeah.
What song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs.
One more time. Welcome back to Camp Songs.
Wow.
Did you like that?
Yeah, he was, what you guys didn't catch was him vocally exercising before he did that, saying it multiple times.
Do you want me to do it one more time?
That's quite all right.
This is Camp Songs, the part of the show where we share what song has been stuck in our head all week. And it's added to a free playlist linked in the episode description on Spotify and YouTube. Johnny Carson, what song has been stuck in your head all week?
I had it on my list when it first came out, which was at, I think, January maybe. I don't know. It was a very long time ago. But my song is No Caller ID by Megan Maroney. And every time I say her name, I'm like, Megan Maroney. She's not Irish at all, but I feel like I have to say it. She's a country singer. She's like the emo cowgirl. She's adorable. I love her. And I love this song. Do you want to sing it with me?
I don't know it that well, but you can.
Here you come again, and there you go. No coincidence, you always know. When I'm moving on, you move back in with a half-ass sorry. How you been? Such a good song. It's basically about getting out of a toxic relationship and moving on to a healthier one. And at some point, you know, that toxic ex sneaks back into your life and uses *67 and calls you at 3 a.m. as a booty call. How you been? You know, and it's just kind of like, we've moved on from that, but you're still calling me. And it's not a coincidence because you keep up on my life. Why is that? You know, really love the girl. And I looked up a fun fact about her. Oh my God, full circle. Waffles.
No.
Here's a fun fact I found out. Are you ready? Megan Maroney was first discovered when she sang at an all-you-can-eat Waffle House benefit dinner that her sorority had set up. Coincidentally, Chase Rice, he was on Survivor, and he's also a really big country artist. He was attending the benefit and asked her to open for him at his concert, which led to her first time performing in front of an audience larger than a Waffle House.
How do we do this?
We
do
always
do full circle.
It's Kismet. It's K-I-Z-M-I-T. It is always Kismet.
Also so cool for her. She's very talented. I'm not as big of a fan as you are because you're just like really hip to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a mega talented star. And it's like, you know, there's country, but this is country.
Yeah, like country. She puts the cunt in country.
That's what people say about her at the Waffle House.
At the Waffle House. But yeah, that's just my song that I've been enjoying. I don't have a lot of other fun facts about it or her. I just wanted to share. And also we can thank Emma, your TikTok girly, for introducing me to her, whether she knows it or not. She was posting about that song right before it came out, and I was like, I like this. So I jumped on it.
You'll have to tell Emma that.
I did. The second that it came out, and I made you listen to it when we were driving somewhere. I took a picture of it and I sent it to her. I was like forcing Zach to get into Megan Maroney.
Well, we're going to the local grocer after this, so maybe we'll put it in the car so you can sing it for me again.
Yeah, if you're lucky. So, what song do you have bumping on your stereo?
Oh my God, it's a remix that just came out.
Okay.
So you guys know the song "The Boy Is Mine" by Ariana Grande off of her new album.
Mm-hmm.
You may be like, wait, that's not her song. That's Brandy and Monica's song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess who's on the remix? Brandy and Monica.
Yay.
She re-released the song that came out with her last album, "The Boy Is Mine." And the video actually came out like a month ago and she had to make a little cameo in it. And now the remix is out with Brandy and Monica. And guys, I have to tell you, Ariana Grande totally took the backseat with this remix. It is like another Brandy and Monica duet. They are on the entire song the entire time. It's so exciting. Their vocals are it is like the best form of R&B. I love these two women so much. And to see them being celebrated again on such a modern track together is so exciting. The bridge. Where are the bridges? Where are the bridges? When did bridges go away in songs? We're giving like 15 seconds pre-chorus and then we're calling that a bridge. That's not a bridge, baby. This is a 90s bridge. It is long. It is robust. It is like altering the song. It is so good.
I didn't listen to it at all. And it's funny because before this song came out, when we were at the mountains again, when it was snowing and we were there for Jay's birthday. Wow, this is really full circle. I made you do the bit about the Instagram captions and you had the Brandy and you were like, the boy is mine.
Yes.
But a lot of people didn't get it because it was a Brandy reference because you had Brandy in your cup. And then Ariana came out with the song and now she's on the song. She's in that new movie too, which I'm so excited for.
I know. Are you guys big Brandy fans? We love Brandy so much. What?
Wait, and then I was talking about I Still Know What You Did last summer with Brandy in the last episode.
I know.
What's going on?
Well, if you're a fan of Brandy, you guys, she's an incredible actress as well, as we do know. And A24 is releasing this new movie with her in it, and she's like the lead scream queen in it. And I love Brandy. I want her on my TVs, in my ears at all times. And this is just like going to be a really great year for her.
I'm so looking forward to all of it. I really want to listen to the song.
And I'm just happy. Like, I think Ariana is a class act. I think she could have had them come on and do like a little feature, which would have been equally as exciting. But to have her like put out a full like remix of a song and like let these two women like do their best and give them she took like Ariana Grande is like doing back vocals. Like it's really a Brandy and Monica song. So check it out, you guys. I think you would love it if you're a fan of the original "The Boy Is Mine." The Boy Is Mine. The Boy Is Mine.
Loves it. Let's bring back bridges, bitches.
Yeah, and thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Camp Counselors Podcast. Woo woo! We have to let you guys know we are doing a week hiatus next week. So there'll be no new episode July 1st or July 3rd. Jonathan and I are going to go to Philly and celebrate the holiday with his family. It's halfway through the year. I think we just need a week to reset and come back stronger than ever. But I hope we left you on a good note because I feel good about this episode.
Me too. I feel fantastic.
Yeah, so we'll be back the following week with more trail mixes and more main episodes. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't had a chance yet and you'd like to, we'd really love it if you'd rate and review our episode or this podcast 5 stars wherever you listen. Share the podcast with a friend and be down for more episodes because we never want to stop doing this. It's like the best part of our week is recording this. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for making friends with each other and showing up to my shows. You guys are the freaking best. We love you so much.
And with that being said,
Lights out, campers.